Hi, Valentina. How are you?
Hello, Trey. Doing good.
It's so great to talk to you today about Bruised. I really enjoyed this film so much. I felt like it had so many messages that will resonate with a lot of people. So, first off, I wanted to ask you, first off, how did you get involved with this movie? You are such a celebrated fighter, and now you're making your movie debut.
I got a call. I got a call from Halle Berry. Yeah, and this is how it's everything started. And I never thought, not 1 second about like, oh, I need time to think about it. No, I
Mhm.
just say yes, and we just straight jumped in to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And what was the experience like working with a Academy Award winning actress like Halle Berry? What did you learn from her by working with her with this movie?
It was the most amazing experience. She's very kind person. She's very sweet, very nice. She's so focused on what she's doing, and in the same time, she's like exactly know what she wanna do and what
Mhm.
she wanna show in the movie, what message she wanna show, and it was
Yeah.
kind of like amazing. Feels that power, that confidence that she possesses, and she
Mhm.
like with like so much positive energy that she was spreading on the set. It
Yeah.
was the most amazing experience to work with her.
Yeah. Yeah. And coming from the UFC world, and this movie takes place within that world too. How accurate is the movie to the actual real life UFC experience? Like, is it very similar, or is it kind of like dramatized a little bit?
So the main idea of Heli, it was not create something unreal, not show unreal move and
Mhm.
something like that. She wanted to make it more real as it possible. So
Yeah.
we were working, we started to work our training, like training camp for the movie. For
Mhm.
2 months, we were training in New
Wow.
York. Yeah, 5 hours daily, every single day to create the fight sequences and adding every time like little details to make it looks very real to the
Mhm.
real fight. And it was kind of like a teamwork when everyone was adding something
Mhm.
beautiful and like successful for the fight,
Yeah, yeah.
movie fight.
That seems very intense. So many months doing that hours a day, but it looked like it was the real thing in the movie. So that's the best part about it.
I think
And
this is tells everything.
yeah, yes. And now that you've been in this movie, do you see yourself doing more movies? Do you want to dabble into acting a little bit more? What does that look like for you down the road?
I would love to act more. I would love to act in more movies. I hope it's gonna be just the beginning, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that like more and more. And definitely being a fighter, professional fighter, I will do it. And definitely, I want to do both, fight and make movies because it's kind of like I feel I have this energy to do both
Mhm.
without divide because many
Yeah.
people they feel or they are fighters or they are
Mhm.
like doing different things.
Mhm.
I feel I have this like energy and everything like to keep it both because the most important is how you control the
Yeah.
switch
Yeah.
before the training camp for the fight or training camp for the movie, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how good you are in controlling the switch.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me today. I really enjoyed this conversation and congrats in advance on the launch of this movie.
Thank you
Thank you.
so
Have a good
much.
one. Hello, happy Friday. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to chat with you about this movie. I enjoyed it so much. It was something I don't know what I expected, but it still seemed to like exceed my expectations every step of the way. So I wanted to ask you first, just overall, how did you get involved with this project to begin with? It's of course it's Halle Berry's feature directorial debut, and that's such a huge moment. So how did you get involved with this project, and tell us about your character?
So I received the audition through my email in the standard way, and I did my audition tape while I was in Georgia filming the Underground Railroad.
Hmm.
And I didn't think I was going to get it. It was one of those things. Particularly when you see when a casting breakdown comes through and they tell you who's already attached, and they said it was being directed and starring Halle Berry. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this. Like, come on, ridiculous. So I just did it, and then it really soon afterwards, I think it might have been later that day or the next day, my manager, Frank Walsh, called me and was like, they really like your tape, by the way. And I was like, oh, okay. But didn't think it would be anything. And then they were like, do you want to have a conversation with Hallie? And I was like, yes. Like, now I'm free. I'm free. I'm not doing anything free. You know, and so it kind of went from there. Yeah, it was kind of bizarre for me. You know, I wasn't expecting it at all, and then it was all happening very quickly, and I had some other projects before I went to go and shoot it, so it was this kind of massive whirlwind, and then I was there. And it's always really strange in these moments when suddenly you're just doing it, you're here, you're doing it, and you don't know how you found yourself there, but there you are, you know.
And I can imagine that was like interesting to get that call during the impactful work that you were doing on Underground Railroad at the same time, and juxtaposing like these, you know, still powerful projects, but two different projects at the same time, like reading for that and working on Underground Railroad, which leads to my next question. The Mabel episode of Underground Railroad is the best episode of television this year. I'm not taking any other. It's the best one. It's the best one. And considering your work there and your character here, Budokan, in this film, what is it that attracts you to projects? Like when you read a script, you're like, what makes you think, okay, this is something that I want to do? Like, do you want like more diverse projects in your repertoire, or do you look for things that challenge you? What's that process like for you?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. You know, it's funny, I've been having some of these conversations with my team recently because we're always checking in, you know, to see what's the direction in terms of what we're trying to achieve. And I always want to be challenged because that's just in my nature. I'm always looking for new experiences, you know, or to stretch myself, put myself in some slightly, you know, scary situations, good scary, you know. But ultimately as well, I'm looking for interesting stories and interesting characters. And I know interesting is kind of a vague word because it's kind of hard to put my finger on it. They can be interesting for a myriad of different reasons, you know, whether it's to do with the character's background or to do with their arc through the story or to do with what they represent, you know, or just the larger story in general. Sometimes I just want to be a part of something, you know, even if my character plays a smaller part in it, I just want to be a part of a project. You know, or working with certain people. I mean, as you said, being able to work with Barry and then work with Hallie so soon afterwards within the same year was just madness for me. I was like, what is going on? This is so cool, you know, and not just because of who they are in terms of status and accolades, but genuinely them as artists, you know. And I can, you know, say that those are two of the most memorable experiences for me, not just because of who they are, but because I learned so much, I experienced so much, I had such a great time on both of those jobs. And you know, you have these moments when you're a freelancer in any kind of industry, but particularly in acting, you know, it moves so quickly, and the experiences you can have can be so different, and you never really know until you're there. So I was able to breathe a huge sigh of relief knowing that I was able to work with these two people, and they were everything I had dreamed they would be, you know, as people, as artists, and that the projects were as well. So yeah, it was a mad year.
And great work by you in both projects as well. Fantastic work, fantastic work. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.